Learning. Learning is a process that takes place in each individual in different ways. Some of us learn visually more stronger than kinesthetic ways. Some others learn more strongly in kinesthetic ways as compared to audio-based ways. Each one of us has an innate learning style. We need to understand the learning style of the learners before proceeding to the concept of teaching. It's normally said, learning is basically a behavioral change. My dear friends, learning has a lot to do with our brains. Our brain is a masterpiece, and a number of researchers in the area of brain plasticity actually tells us that brain modifies itself not only during childhood, but even when we are adults. Any kind of learning that takes place has a number of research evidences where the brain has been modified. We have two types of memory, a long-term memory and a short-term memory. Have you ever thought why you remember numbers for a short period of time? If you have taken a road to a particular place, you remember it for a stipulated period of time, and then you may just have a vivid memory of that, or you may even forget it. Learning takes place in different ways. Learning itself is a process. It's very important to understand this process in reference to the multiple intelligence concept. Let's ponder for some time over the thoughts of learning and multiple intelligence. Friends, learning has always been a desirable change that teachers have looked upon. After teaching the students for an hour, the student remembers the concept for some time, but after a few weeks, the student tends to forget. Why does this happen? Have you ever thought of this point as a teacher? Yes, the answer is we all have different signals in the brain. The brain has immediate chemical signals. See, the brain communicates through neurons. It communicates through chemical signals. Now, these chemical signals cause short-term memory. That means I will be able to understand certain components till I'm listening to you and post that for some period of time. The second type of alterations that occur in the brain are structural changes. These structural changes are responsible for long-term memory. Normally in the classroom, the teacher aims at classroom teaching and learning to happen during a stipulated period of time, due to which chemical changes take place in the brains of the student, and the student is able to comprehend it, replicate it, reply to your answers, give answers, and also do certain experimentations, hypothesis formations, and so on for a short period of time and come out with answers. But later, the trend changes. The child tends to forget. Now, when will a child forget? A child will forget if the child has not revised, learned, repeated, and looked at the concept or pondered or digested the concept completely. Now, brain is the core for learning. So there are two types of memories that we have that normally cause learning. Multiple intelligence is yet another concept that we can pick up in this direction. Let's try to understand that you are teaching a visual learner through audio waves. Now, a visual learner will try to listen to you and create visuals. So that processing takes a time span. How about showing the visuals directly to the visual learner along with your audio inputs? Now, if that happens, the learning that takes place in the visual learner will be retained for a longer period of time, because the visual learner will automatically start connecting with the visuals. I really don't need to mention, but we all know that Swami Vivekananda was a very strong visual learner. Had he looked at a book, he would always be able to tell the page number, the words that would be on the book, the pictorial presentations that were in the book. Now, if a person like Mahatma Gandhi was taught through written notes, he would have been a total disaster in the long run because he was somebody who would idealize and learn. He would receive from all ends, idealize certain situations, and then develop a hypothesis to it. So basically, the combination of kinesthetic and thought processes worked well for him. Hence his experiments with satyagraha, ahimsa, and so on that were really stronger than the sword. Friends, each one in the classroom has different styles of learning. A learner could be an intrapersonal learner, interpersonal learner, visual learner, audio learner, kinesthetic learner, could be a spatial learner, and so on. Some students are very quick at doing the rubrics, the cube rubrics. Some are not that quick at it. Have you ever thought why that happens? Astronomers can immediately think in a particular manner and construct the rocket organizations. Can we do that at a glance? No. Why does that happen? Well, astronomers have developed this quality with lots of effort and practice that they have managed to modify their brain in certain ways, and they have immediate chemical signals when somebody talks about the rockets or the satellites and so on. But for people like us to go through the process would take time. Now, this is something interesting, isn't it? So it's always rightly said, feed the learners what the learners want. Feed the learners what they like. Feed the learners what they wish to eat. And this is exactly the same principle we need to apply in our teaching too. Teach the visual learners in visual form. Do you have an intrapersonal learner? Give more of worksheets and thought processes. Do you have interpersonal learning skills? Then go ahead with project work, group work, collaborative work, explore your leadership skills and all the content related skills by discussing in a group. Are you a visual learner? Use doodles in your classroom. Now, this is the way the teacher would actually be thinking.